Okay, today we are going to do experimental probability. You're going to need those words to be able to do the exercises. So the first one is the number of trials. The number of trials is the number that you do that experiment. So if I toss a coin 200 times, that's the number of trials for that experiment. The outcomes will be the different results possible for one trial of the experiment. So if we have a coin, the outcomes of the coin will be head and tails. The frequency is how many times that outcome happened. So for example, if I toss that coin and I have heads and it happens 102, then that's the frequency for the heads for that outcome. And the relative frequency is the same that the probability of an experiment. Let's see how those words relate to a problem. Okay, so before I go with the example, the idea of today, you should be able to find the experimental probability of an event. The experimental probability is called as well relative frequency, which is equal to frequency divided by number of trials. Let's see our example. When a small plastic cone was tossed into the air 300 times, it fell on its side 203 times and on its face 97 times. We say, now let's start with this, the number of trials. So how many times we did that? So it's 300 times. Now, the outcomes, so it can be side or base, that's the outcomes of that cone. Then the frequency, now if we do the frequency for the side, it's 203. And if we do the frequency for the base, it's 97 times. Now, the last one is to find the probability of those. So the probability of the side will be the frequency that it happens divided by the number of trials. So it's 203 divided by 300. And that's 0.677. The other one is the base, which it happens 97 times divided by 300, and that's 0.323. So that's how we use those words in the experimental probability. Now, let's check another example. A coin is tossed 100 times, it falls heads 48 times. What is the experimental probability that it falls A, heads, B, tails? So A, for heads, the probability of heads is 48 divided by 100 in this case, which is 0.48. Or remember, you can write it as 48%. And B, the probability of getting tails is an experiment, so we are going to have the rest of them, which is 52 divided by 100 equals 0.52 of 52%, and that's the experimental probability. Now, you can do the exercises to see if you're able to find the experimental probability of an event. Please go to exercise 10A, questions 1 to 4.